We have now come to the closing ceremony.
There's just 3 announcements that were shared with us that are relevant to our topics for this symposium, our community. There's a webinar coming up May 3rd. If you still have the energy, continue the conversation. The contact here is Marie-Frédérique Saint-Cyr, where is here, and you have the email address. That's a free with free access. Also, the second one is about the ICME, International Congress for Mathematical Education, that is coming up next year in Australia and in Sydney. And one of the topic study group is about teaching and learning of computational thinking. You may want to consider submit a proposal. The deadline is coming up August 18. And the 2 people for contact are Simon just left. You have his email address. So I would recommend you contact him if you have any question. And the last one is there will be soon a special issue in the Journal of Pedagogical Research that is dedicated to computational thinking and mathematics teaching and learning. That will be coming out in the fall. You may want to have a look for it.
Can I add another one?
Yes, please.
I don't know if you all know about constructionism and FabLearn that is going to happen in New York in the Teachers College of Columbia University in October, and the deadline is May 8th. So just Google Constructionism Conference New York City and you'll find it.
It's good time. Your head is full of ideas. Go for it, for the proposal. Any other announcement? We're good.
So we have reached to the end of our symposium, and we're going to provide a few closing remarks. It has been truly an amazing 3, and I'm going to go with the theme of a decimal, 3.5 days, and that's counting the PD day.
We want to give you some details about the proceedings. We will be sending the details later in May by email. Similar to previous symposia, these will be published online on the symposium website, and the authors maintain copyrights for everything that is on the proceedings. The 2 groups, the 2 research group will be looking at linguistic and format review, but it is not a peer-refereed process that is involved for the proceedings. We aim for the fall. With this process, we can aim at publishing rather quickly. And that will include also all the recordings of the plenary sessions that will be posted on the website. And that will be before fall. So as soon as they're ready, probably before the end of the month of May, not the month of April. I'll have a little break before. We will have a nice break before. So that will be published. You can already have a quick look at it around mid-May for the recordings. We will have the reports from the keynotes, reactions, working groups, and possibly the panels as well. For those who contributed a poster, you are invited to submit your digital version of your poster and possibly a paper that elaborate your ideas, your work on the poster. And we also invite other individual contribution papers, individual or in collaboration. And again, all the details will be sent a little bit later, but you can start already prepare for this. Thank you.
So I'm going to do some expression of thanks, and I will begin with sincere thanks to the speakers, the panelists, and their reactors for their valuable contribution to this symposium. Celia this morning said that when she did work with C. McPappert and see what his vision was for learning with computers and what he created, it was like, wow. We could be doing this with learners, engagement with computers. And Bill yesterday said at some of the gatherings they did go to, the students and the researchers were looking at hyperlinking documents. So at the same time when hyperlinking documents was like, this is great technology, we can hyperlink documents, Sima Papat himself was looking at how can we use computers to change the learning, to change the thinking, to use this as an object. So with what the speakers we ended up with, it was like, wow, how did we get this lineup of speakers? I'm gonna advance this slide to this, thank you. So second, I would like to thank the working group leaders that led the 3 working groups, the poster presenters that we did go to yesterday to listen to and hear about their research and research projects. And I also like to truly thank the participants for your presence, engagement, and very valuable contribution. So just like for the speakers, it was like, wow, how did we get this lineup of speakers, reactors to the speakers, the plenary, the panelists. Same was with the working group leaders, as well as the poster presenters and participants. What a moment for us to be here, inspiring each other, beginning and continuing the thinking about engaging learners seriously with learning with these tools, the concepts, the metaphors that are available through the use of tangible, intangible technologies, and the spaces, thinking about the spaces that in which learners do learn. And now I'm going to move over to thanking the committees. So a special thank you to the 3 committees that did organize the PD Day, the symposium, the local organizing committee, which ensured that we are comfortable, as well as the scientific program committee. In addition to that, I would also like to thank who I'm referring to as the infrastructural and design support team. We did not have many. We have one here, he's already standing, so I'm not going to ask him to stand. So a round of applause for them. And we did have 2 wonderful ladies behind the scenes for close to 2 years. Dr. Zainab, Guchuparamaxis, and Beza Caesar. They branded us. So the colors, the website, our logo, the 2 wonderful ladies, I'm going to ask them to stand because we skipped thanking them on the first day. So I will now invite Dorothy from the local organizing committee to make a few remarks before we make the final announcement about the symposium itself.
Thank you. I'm here on behalf of the entire local organizing committee, Chantal, Joyce, and Stephen, to thank you for your participation in the symposium. We hope that it was both productive and enjoyable and that your stay was also comfortable. In case you missed last night's dinner, I just want to take a moment to point out a little bit about the winery and the winemaker from for the wines that we served last night. The winery is Malabar Wine Company, and the head winemaker is actually a Brock grad from the Oenology and Viticulture program. His name, and it is his real name, is Shiraz Motiar. I hope I'm pronouncing his last name right. And his name, that is actually his real first name. That's what he was given at birth, which I think is amazing. Also, just wanted to say, for those of you who are going on the excursion, we hope that you enjoy the beautiful Niagara Falls. Unfortunately, I hope the weather holds for you. I hope it doesn't get any rainier or wet or damp than it already is. Maybe the sun will even come out. Let's keep our fingers crossed. And I'd also just like to wish all of you a safe trip home, and thank you again for your attendance. It's been our pleasure.
And next, I would like to invite Dr. Steve Kwan and Marja Miller to make a few remarks.
Formerly Marcia Miller, now Marcia Bertrand. It's okay. I was for most of the time I was with them, Immaculate. I just want to say that when I was thinking about it, just with the PD day, it's really come full circle. So we started off with our pre-service and our in-service teachers where we were working and giving them tools and activities and resources that they could use. And as I was listening to the panel today, they spoke about how even though we're developing all this research and all these ideas, we really have to bring it back to what those pre-service and in-service teachers need. How can we make it more palatable, reasonable for them to be able to access it, as well as have not too many resources, but enough resources so that they can effectively implement them in their classes. So again, coming full circle where we've kind of gone through different things that we're looking at in more of a theoretical and deeper way, but then bringing it back to those people that we want to serve, which is the teachers.
And I'm just going to thank again the other members of our organizing committee for the PD and the presenters. I don't think any of the presenters are here, or
Beza.
Beza is here. Yes, Beza is here. And Dave, who was one of the presenters, is not here.
And Dr. Stephen Floyd.
And Stephen. Oh, yes.
Yep.
Well, I keep thinking of Stephen now just with the symposium.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, thanks.
So this is, feels like the start of something new, even when it's the end of the symposium. So my last item is for information purposes only, no discussion, no questions, no debate. It's a declaration. I now declare this symposium closed. Thank you so much for your participation. And thanks to our funders.